Welcome, ladies, gents, dazzle the zebras and any other wildlife that's watching us to Ladies Wot Pod, episode 54. Special welcome to the gentleman that I met in the Super Sauce. If you've managed to find us, I've been to the Super Sausage in Pottersbury for my breakfast today. It's an awesome place, and that's a clue as to where I live: South Northamptonshire, Pottersbury. My name is Lis Saunders, and I am co-host of the Ladies Wot Pod, and I am chair of the Supporters Club, Chief Halo, and General Rugby Geek. And my co-podder is
Claire Jones, wearer of a red hat and lots of cameras. One of the team of club photographers at the Saints, usually seen wandering about with a camera stuck to my face. And I live on the edge of the Fens, just north of Cambridge. So here we are again. And we're feeling a bit more chipper.
Here we are again.
But we're feeling a bit more
much more chipper.
Yeah.
Much more chipper. I'm feeling better. You will notice I'm not sounding as if I'm Victorian consumptive anymore, or any form of consumptive.
Not many people that came up to me yesterday saying, "Is Liz all right?" I said, "Well, she sounds much better."
Yes, I had quite a lot of people going, "Oh, how are you feeling? You sounded dreadful." Oh, thanks for that. I had to pod on through the pain. No, I'm feeling a lot better. There'd be too much information. I'm over the feeling of cold, and I'm just a snot monster still. I'm just all bunged up. So, but I am like loads better. I was able to shout yesterday and able to sing a bit on Boxing Day, which I couldn't sing the week before. So that's all good. So why we are so much more chipper, because after a dismal performance at the Stonex, we came out at home, sellout crowd at the Gardens where everybody loves to be, and they just turned it on, didn't they? Turned it on.
Yes, turned it on indeed. These, according to the Times, thank you to the Times, it's the second fastest try bonus point in Premiership history. So only beaten by Harlequins putting 4 past Saracens 20 years ago. So I think, the boss, Mr. Dowson, wanted a fast start. I think that's pretty quick. And featured 2 tries for the legend.
Oh, Big Trev.
Yeah, so he's moved on from being the fullback, the guy, our blanket at the back fetching the ball, into actually he's decided to go for scoring tries this season. He's added a string to his bow, and a beautiful dive by the post to score the first one. Well done.
Balletic, I would say.
Balletic, yes. And the second one, I think we need to a bit of a shout out to Tom West. Very neat little pass into
very neat.
Tread's ample arms as he dotted down.
I was telling you what you were going to say then. I just tell you that's not the right part of the body to be passing to. Arms. Okay. Yeah.
Arms, Mrs. Saunders.
I do apologise.
I know it's the pastime season.
It helps when you know where your elbow is, I guess.
Yeah. So, yes. So, we were already 28-0 up, 15 minutes in, we're 28-0 up. But it was the manner, I think, of how much all the things that we wanted to see, we saw. That was what we were after. We saw
Alex Coles charging around the place like a wildebeest giraffe combination, I think.
Yeah, scoring tries. Actually, slightly faster than he scored his first one, which was, as we know,
that wouldn't be hard. World's slowest
try ever scored against a Mishwara all those years ago. But if you're going to do the Alan Shearer point, Alex, could you do it in such a way that it's not behind the post, and by the time I see it, you've completed it? Dave Rogers got the best shot. And it was a very good photo, but he'd given up by the time he appeared in front of me.
Yeah, but well done, Alex. Lovely to see you. You look back to your normal jolly self, because we feel there's been a bit of Mr. Grumpy just recently, and I hope that's that you're happier again now. Whatever
it is, yes, you look like you're having fun with your mates again, as did our returning Australian.
Oh, didn't he though? Oh, that was nearly the world's most outrageous try when your back row kicks ahead. Oh man!
I have actually, unfortunately, I haven't. I'm still working on my photos. I will put up at some point a photo of the tap tackle, because I know you do like a good tap tackle.
I love a good tap tackle. Yeah.
Mullering the scrum half. How he managed to get from one end to the other and still get that tap tackle in. Yeah. Awesome. And a fabulous try as well. So Josh, welcome back. I think we've missed him. I think we have. Yeah. We have missed him.
He had a certain Aussie-ness to the back row that is a good Aussie-ness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he linked up well with his mate Henry.
He did. It was a good back row combo going on there, because I thought Tom Pearson played one of his better games. I feel that he's feeding off the energy of Henry again, and he's getting. I felt he'd hit a bit of a low. Whether he's carrying a niggly injury, I don't know, but he just seemed yesterday to be back to his effervescent best, a bit better. So that was good.
And then of course,
right in front of you. The second one was, wasn't it?
Well, the first one was. I think if the ball actually was lifted more than about an inch off the ground from Yak, we were doing well. But the second one was a nice, neat dive.
And Yak, our replacement number 8, this Samoan wrecking ball, as has been described. I mean, my goodness me. I mean, that man has got a low centre of gravity to start off with. And then the way he runs, he is just...
He covers the ground. It must be
terrifying to try and defend against when somebody's running. So their body is about a foot off the ground, it seems. He just don't know how. Marvellous.
And he's got one of the best. So they do the little thing in the huddle at the end of the game, and he does breakdancing.
Does he?
Old twirly round thing, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Henry Walker looked slightly perturbed that they were going to ask him to do it. But...
Poor Henry Walker. Well, Henry Walker, welcome. Made your Premiership debut for us, and the first throw-in went slightly awry, but it didn't matter. And then after that, he was rock solid and played really well.
He played really well. He was outstanding. There was only one not straight, I think, which was all down to Graham McKechnie. Everything else.
All down to Graham McKechnie.
Those of us who were listening to
I'm all for apportioning blame. However,
well, no, Graham had just said how accurate his throwing was at the very moment that Henry threw a not straight.
It was his fault then. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But well played, Henry. And then so he's managed to learn. So he's been with us 2-3 weeks, something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he didn't go to South Africa, obviously.
He was working with the academy, and he's been working with James Craig and Alex Coles after the
we apparently have really complex line-out calls, so he's been having to sit up at night, burning a candle in the dorm, learning this, mugging up on that. And nobody had told him he got to learn the Shoe Army song, because he'd be on the bin leading it, because he'd made his debut. So poor old Henry.
As Dingers is trying to teach him the words as he's singing it. So
Dingers has been like the bouncing ball, that used to get when in community singing. Feels great.
But he must be. I mean, he said himself. He was interviewed by Radio Northampton after the game. He said himself he was desperate to get back into Premiership rugby. He's ex of the Gloucester Academy, and you could see he's settled in almost instantly, and he was everywhere. I mean, if you look at my photos, there's a bit of Henry somewhere in the photo. He was absolutely everywhere. He worked incredibly hard, and I wish him well. It's miserable that we've lost such a talented player as Robbie Smith, who's just broken into the Scotland squad, and Robbie our bagpipe correspondent, our imaginary bagpipe correspondent, if you remember that photo from. He's trying to teach the S&C guys how to play the bagpipes without actually having any bagpipes in the pouring rain.
Can he play the bagpipe? Here's an interesting one. Can he actually play the bagpipes?
I believe he
can. Or Does he just do the air bagpipes?
No, I believe he can
does
actually play the bagpipes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we don't normally interview players.
You want to talk to Robbie about bagpipes? I'm sure he'd love to talk to Robbie about bagpipes.
Just intrigued by them.
We could talk to Sam about his knives. He being a butcher and all that. We can.
Yeah, that's not interesting. I've got knives. I've got bagpipes.
Bagpipes, right. Anyway, back to Henry Walker. I don't imagine plays the bagpipes. Doesn't strike me as his thing. I thought he had a really good game. And
I thought yes. Yeah.
And running out to a sellout crowd at the Gardens at a big game, wanting to impress your new bosses. Well, I think he did us proud. I think he absolutely did us proud. And it'd be interesting to see how Curtis and he vie.
Yes.
In the coming weeks.
Interesting. It was. I was going to say it wasn't an easy game either because Newcastle got their tails up a bit, and it was a must-win game for us. So the pressure was on us to win. It was a potential banana skin, I have to say. If we'd have gone into our shells, as we have seen us do in previous seasons, but it was, I believe Monday was a bit sticky for the players, shall we say, after the Saracens game, but it worked and they came out firing. And
as a team, they knew what they had to do. I mean, they know that they're capable of it. That was the most frustrating thing. That we just didn't see the team that we expect to see out there at the StoneX, where we did yesterday. They
just imprinted the Saints way on right from the kickoff. It was no, we're playing our way, our turf, our way, and they did it. And I thought Steve Darman in his after match interview was very complimentary, and we were lucky to get nil. To be honest, it was.
Yes.
I wish him well up there. We need to keep Newcastle up in the Premiership. We need somebody doing something for rugby up there. And I love the Newcastle trip anyway.
Oh yeah, I think the trip to Kingston Park. So I gave Mark Smith gave him a big hug when I arrived at the ground, because Smithy's he's the media manager for Newcastle, and it was explained 24 years he's been associated. He's been in and out. He hasn't always been the media manager, and he's also been a local journalist, and he's a lovely bloke. I mean, he has a really, really tough gig doing what he has to do. He does it with such humour and such grace. He's a lovely, lovely man. And I saw him in the car park after the game, and I had to give him another hug, and he said, "Thanks, I needed that." Because it can't be easy. Well, actually, I imagine the bad old days, we can remember some of those. It's not easy. And he doesn't have a big team. He is Smithy. And so I wish him well, and I wish the Newcastle guys well. We did have some good news. In fact, the young man himself was there yesterday, surprised to be recognised, because he was recognised by Dr. T. Ethan Grayson was there with his broken foot.
Was there?
Yes. And he's off to San Diego, and he basically finishes the season in the States and comes straight back into pre-season at Newcastle.
Yes, apparently. So a mole that I met in the Super Sausage, not often you meet a mole in the Super Sausage, he was talking to one of the Newcastle players, and Ethan came up, and Ethan was furious that he couldn't play. That he would have loved to have played in that game. I think he would have.
Because I exchanged messages with him earlier in the season, and he was desperate to come back to the Gardens to play. And he would have made a difference.
I think Newcastle really missed that structure that he's given them since he went up there. So
and his bravery, his utter bravery. I mean, some of the stuff he's done this season. I imagine San Diego, if they look after him, I think they've got a little gem on their hands. But they've got more centres than they know what to do with. So I hope he gets a good run out. But it'd be great to see him back in the Premiership, because he deserves a run.
Yes, he does. It does.
Absolutely.
So so it was a very jolly. Oh, and Curtis got a pie clip delivery to tide him over the new year.
Oh, who was it he tackled nearly into next week? There's a bit of venom in that tackle. It's like, oh, I mean, I was hoping to see it because I watched it because it was on the red button.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, and I was wondering who it was because the poor Flower. I mean, it was a perfectly legal tackle, but boy, did it have a lot of Curtis venom in it.
Well, I think it's because he'd seen Henry have such a good first half.
I'm still here, boss. I haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's what you want. You want competition between the two of them. So it'd be really interesting to see.
Yes.
A shout out to TNT. Although poor Smithy, back to Smithy, is feeling a bit red buttoned out. TNT, put Newcastle on a non-red button game at some point, will you? They're getting a bit fed up. Yeah. And our game yesterday, ironically, wouldn't have been one of the ones to show, but the one against Saracens up at Kingston Park before Christmas would have been the perfect one to put on live, but instead of which it was Quins Bristol. So come on. Play nicely. Anyway, I thought TNT did a good job yesterday and were very complimentary about the Gardens, the best game in the best ground in the Premiership. Very good.
Well, yeah, we can't argue with that, can we?
Pitch.
Well, yeah,
there
absolutely. It was a strange atmosphere at Gardens because when we were haloing, it was. I was doing a bit on Gate 1 with my young assistant Harry and Dr. T, and it was really quiet on Gate 1. People arriving all seemed to know where they were going. I don't even think it was a sellout, and I think it was a sellout for real people, not so much hospitality because of it being Twixmas. So you hadn't got people wandering around going, looking for the hospitality, which is what you usually get up at Gate 1.
They knew where they were going. Yeah. They've been there before.
They knew where they were going. And the village was heaving, absolutely heaving. But it was sort of strangely quiet.
Yes,
I felt,
very
in the
music crowd.
stadium.
Very music crowd.
Yeah. So it was a bit odd, but we got behind the guys when necessary, and the cheering was loud. And Harry came and absolutely had a blast. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Said it's really nice when you're winning, isn't it, Granny? And I went, it is. But if you're going to be a Saint supporter, lad, you've got to get used to the other bits as well.
And we need to talk about the other bits for the other clubs in the Premiership because we're going to talk about.
We'll come on.
I have to say to the person who was singing "Come On Tigers" in the second half, you're a bit lost, love. You needed to be in London. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Never mind. Had they come out without their nurse, do you think? Was that?
There's much confusion behind me. It's like, who are you?
Who have you come with? Did you not afford? Did you afford a trip to London? Just to go back to it being a sellout and a lot of old school supporters there. So they were happy because we played uphill in the first half.
Oh, yes. I had a lot of visits about uphill. Yes. So our dear friend Debbie Tite on the tunnel managed to get the message. She managed to mangle the message from the toss. So she said in her. So I got effectively, I got two messages. One from Lizzie, of course, was Lizzie Goodchild, who was spot on. Yeah. Newcastle kicking off, left to right. Saints playing towards the Barwell stand. That's absolutely correct.
What happened?
Somehow, Debbie in her head had them playing towards the Cinch stand. To which Lizzie... I went to find out what was going on because it's like, hold on, which is right? And of course, Lizzie was right. And Lizzie went, no, that's the Barwell stand. And Debbie went, yeah, that's the one. That's the Barwell stand. It's like, what? Yes. So everybody was very confused, but Debbie knew what she meant. She said, I know they were going that way. And I said, well, I don't think the guys who you were taking the message to can see you waving your arm going up the hill. So much confusion all around. Anyway, yes, so we played up the hill. Everybody was very happy. As I came back, there were a few, because I wandered to the middle to go and find out what was happening over the toss, and also to wish Lizzie a happy Christmas, because I hadn't seen her. There was a few querulous looks. Oh my God, are we going down the hill? Sort of looks. And then when I came back again, there was sort of a look of relief. Oh, we're going up the hill. And I actually said to one guy, no, you don't need to tell me off this week, because whenever the toss goes the other way round,
It's your fault.
it's my fault. Because I haven't influenced the coin in the right way, or the captain, or whoever. Anyway, all round, everyone was happy. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good. So, which brings us on to, I think, player of the match.
Well, yes.
Well, do you know, there's so many. There's so many you could pick from. I mean, fortunately, a lot of them were subbed, so you can think of take them out. Which is Dinger's explanation for why he got the official player of the match, so therefore he doesn't get ours, was because he was the only one who hadn't been subbed. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do we take out Henry Pollock because otherwise he's going to get it every week? Yes, we do. So
yes, we do. Yes, but that's not the
was
reason. I don't think he. I mean, he played well.
No, he played well, but Josh Kemeny has got to be in the running just for that outrageous nearly try that was just outrageous,
and the really good try that he did get. Thanks,
and the really good try that he did score, and just being Josh Kemeny and a blasted nuisance around the place. I thought Fremo did some really good stuff as well to confuse people, mainly the opposition, fortunately, but he was doing some popping up in all sorts of places and causing havoc. George Hendy, again, was doing some cracking stuff.
Although Laura's prediction, his mum's prediction that he was going to score a hat-trick.
Yes, that's just Laura. Don't give the predictions, okay? Please.
Yes. We were toying with the idea of recommending to having the Laura's. How is Laura feeling in her waters prediction this week? The feature died before it even started.
Thank goodness.
I thought George played really well. I mean, that try-saving tackle at the end of the first half.
Oh yes, yeah. I think that was. I was going to say one of the many nails in Newcastle's coffin. That every time they seemed to be getting anywhere, it was just. And actually, the TNT commentators, said about that in the second half. That he said what is impressive about this Saints team is they're not taking the foot off the gas. Newcastle are really, really trying hard. And Saints are just sucking the energy out of them every time they manage to do something positive. Saints disrupt it. Saints, they're even if they're not making the hard yards themselves in defence, they have been so good about sucking the energy, taking the positivity away from Newcastle, which makes us sound like the bad guys. And if we were playing against us, we would be bad about it. But it was something that was
it was
good to see.
TP had one of his best games.
He did. Yes, he did. So, and Colsey and Chenna just being themselves and charging. So I don't. And Mitch being Mitch, but he replaced and Archie came on, and that was good. And Finn for his yellow card. Seriously, yellow card?
Just go and have a rest. Yeah.
Just go and bog off.
Absolutely.
Trying to even it up.
Mitch for missing that conversion because it was just so funny.
It was funny. The venom with which he'd put behind that kick. Well, I'm going to get it.
Was shaking for some time. It's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So where do we think it should land? So does that spin the bottle, this, isn't it? Where do we think it should land? I think I'm tempted to go for Tom Pearson. Oh, no, we haven't. Again, because he does what we know he does, which is be Mr. Dependable and put in some cracking attacking runs and some superb defensive stuff as well.
Yeah.
But I'm minded because of the competition in this position as well, and because it was his best game for a while. Is Tom Pearson? I think he's.
Yeah, I think TP as well. I think TP. He worked incredibly hard, played the full 80, and emptied the tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it's a TP. Now, what you didn't know, actually, I may have mentioned it to you. Liz Tyler's vote went to Tom Pearson as well.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, so well done, Tom. Well done, Tom. It was good to see you back to your best. And hopefully many more to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now the Sgt Wilson Award, you're going radical, aren't you?
I am going a bit radical on this because bizarrely, I think it ought to go to the ref. I thought Luke was in fine form. He was having a ball out there. I thought he was thoroughly enjoying himself. And there were a couple of things that, when he laughed at the Newcastle player who said, well, he can't have scored it. He didn't have that much skill when he was playing for us or something. Can you check it? About one of Big Trev's tries. And also when he told somebody not to count down, and he said, don't count down. I got told off for doing that.
I'm not sure about the goatee beard, though. The growth isn't very Luke, is it?
No,
anyway.
But
it
I
is
just
lovely seeing a referee reffing a game
having
with such good humour. And to be fair on the players, they didn't really give him a hard time. But I think Luke Pearce does win our Sgt Wilson Award for outstanding engagement with himself. And
self-awareness. And now that sounds wrong, but also I thought he had control of the game. He reffed it in good humour, but also, I mean, he did warn them. We're not having any shenanigans.
One thing Luke is very good is being very clear about what he's wise.
His communication. His communication was very good. And I still think possibly sending Finn for a 10-minute rest was a bid to level it up. Give him a chance.
Well, Finn was a bit of a nana, anyway.
But he was, yes. Yeah. But we were talking about it, weren't we, after the after-match curry, and saying it's so hard when you're a sportsman you instinctively go to do something that it's like in cricket, and you see them when the ball's going to drop on the bails and they go to catch the ball and they're out anyway, but it's that sort of all those things that
to grab the ball. Yes.
So it was
for a 10-minute rest. So there you go.
There you go. So yes, and talking of Sgt Wilson, I had a nice hug and exchange with the eponymous Sgt Wilson, George Furbank, and discussion about his stand-in Dingers, who is possibly more Sgt Wilson than Sgt Wilson, even if that's possible. But yes, Ferb seems to be quite happy with the Sgt Wilson name. He's embraced it now. Yeah, I think he embraced it all along, really. So it's good to see him. He's got his arm. He's left-handed, so it's his right arm that's got the metal plating. He's not looking forward to going through airport security in future, but looking forward to doing a first handoff. I think it works like that.
With his bionic arm, yes. And
with his bionic arm.
And all those of us of a certain age are having that sort of sound in their head from the Bionic Man. Yes, again. Yeah. Remember that noise? Yes.
And of course, that's why he was so good at those of you who have seen a clip of the Saints, 4 of them at the darts, and Ferb's looks like, he's playing with his left hand because his right arm's in a sling. No, he's left-handed anyway, and that's why he won. So and Fremo was shit. I could play that badly at darts. Miss the board, won. Miss the board.
Yes.
Apparently, it's very strange because Fremo's normally good at just about anything he tries, but not darts.
Not darts. Yeah, no. Yes.
There we go.
Anyway.
But
as a weekend of rugby, and we'll come on to talk about the Saints lads and the boys in blue at Goldington Road in a moment.
Yes.
As a weekend of rugby is, we've got another match to go, so it's about an hour before kick-off in the last match of the weekend, Exeter Gloucester. But we've had some pretty bizarre results. We had Friday night, which I am afraid I just laughed at. Now, the only person I felt at all sorry for on Friday night was Rich Lane, because I have a soft spot for Rich, ex of Bedford Blues. But everybody else, I just found it funny. I'm sorry. And the men in that hideous orange tamed the bear.
Yes. Tamed it, caged it, had it dancing.
Byron McGuigan, the new defence coach at Sale, has done a number. Bear in mind, we put 47 points on them. So, he's definitely done a number. But after the previous weekend, when Bristol basically laid waste to the Tigers at Welford Road, to be nilled at home.
Yeah.
What's going on
and have no answer. I mean, I know they were missing AJ McGinty, who I think is an absolute...
But they were missing him at Welford Road.
But they were bereft.
They were. A limp lettuce, they were. A limp lettuce. So, so well done to Sale. And a bit like Newcastle, we need Sale to do well. We need, North West Rugby to prosper. So, well done to the guys, because we do need it. And then... and then it was to the wreck.
Yes. I mean, I'd have been happy, to be honest, whichever way that had gone. But to actually Saracens put to the sword, I suppose they would be, wouldn't they?
68-10. Yes.
Which makes our defeat to Bath earlier in the season not so bad, really.
No. And given, if you remember, we didn't have Mitch, we had
we didn't.
quite a different. We had quite a different team. Interesting. And then it was us 61-0. And I don't know the answer to when was the last time there were 2 nils in a weekend. I don't know. And then the rather bizarre 34-all draw at big game 40 million. Oh God. Anyway, the big game.
There is a discussion. Just as an aside from that, there is a discussion, I think, on Saint Sinners should Quins be allowed to play at Twickenham, and there's an argument for it, from a business point of view, but I think from a moral point of view, they shouldn't be. If they want to go and play at, I don't know, Wembley or anywhere else, but Twickenham, it does mean if they get to the final, it's their second home. That can't be right. It's don't know with it myself, but we've had that discussion.
We have had that discussion, yes, and I agree with you. So a really bizarre set of results, but it opens up the league in a really good way.
Yes.
Graham McKechnie has spotted that we've done the big away trips.
Yeah, we've done the hard ones.
So I think with the exception of Gloucester, because I think that's going to be a hard game.
Yes.
But, it's going to be a really interesting second half of the season. And it starts, we'll talk in a moment about what it starts next weekend with Bath. But, yesterday really opened things up. So, fascinating.
Yeah.
Unlike the Championship...
I was going to say, I was just about to say, I think the changes we saw at half-time were with an eye to next week. When you're 40-0 up, you can afford to... No, right, Mitch, we're putting you... We need you against Bath. Yeah. And and likewise, Big Trev, come off. We know what you can do. You don't need to prove anything. Let's give the others a chance. Give the other children a chance to shine. And also, we don't need to knacker you ready for next week. So
and it was many of those that came on did really well. Archie continues to impress. You know,
he's
19. Everybody, he's 19.
Yeah, and he plays. It's a different game to Mitch. It's an elegant game. He's a very elegant player. He's fascinated to watch his journey because, as I've said, I think he's a more talented player at 19 than Mitch was. He's a more level-headed, certainly a more level-headed player at 19 than Mitch was, which isn't hard. So, bless him.
But
and I think Mitch would probably be one of the first to agree with that, to be fair. I mean,
we're lucky to have such talented scrum halves with, of course, Tom James as well. So, in the Championship, I now fear for Coventry, who lost again, this time at Nottingham. Their bid to win the Championship seems to have stumbled a little bit. But Bedford are back to winning ways. They played Cambridge, Blood and Sand, as they're known, at Goldington Road. It was a sellout, so well done everybody on the commercial side at Goldington Road. And some of us would have seen the footage of Jake Garside ripping up the hill as he came down. I don't know whether it was the first or second. It must have been the first. I don't know which way round they played. But anyway, Jakey's doing his usual, all over the show, and put Dean Adamson away for a fantastic try. And the legend that is Ed Prowse scored a try.
Oh, well done. Well done.
So it turned out 57 in the end, not 57, 57. So a really
50, yes. Yeah,
really comfortable win for the Bedford Blues, which is just what we wanted. Interesting time. Interesting times at Cambridge. Richie Williams, who was their director of rugby, is moving on. And be interesting who they appoint to replace him, because Cambridge have had a bit of a bumpy time, to say the least. I'm just looking at the table in the Premiership, and I'm just thinking, so Nottingham are sitting in fourth, which it does mean that our Premiership Rugby Cup pool has not been a pushover by any means. We've now got to go up to Nottingham. We've had two of the top four in our absolutely, and then Leicester Tigers as well. So I mean, we've had a tough group, and it has been a hard group. Yeah, and our youngsters have done us proud.
Yeah, they have. I'm almost looking forward to.
It's not long, is it?
Yes, I was going to say I'm always looking forward to Valentine's Day up in Nottingham now. It's
yeah.
There you go.
Lady Day in the dark.
Romance, all romance in the Saunders household. I tell you, we don't need one day for it. It's non-stop romance down here.
You've got a confused IT department now. Anyway,
that's not hard. That's not. He's still confused as to how him betting on Bristol didn't come off because they were bound to win.
As he tried to explain to me several times last night over a curry. But Claire, they were bound to win. And I went, but Paul, they didn't.
But Paul, you bet on them, and you know what happens.
You knew what the result was going to be.
Yeah, the rest of us did. The minute it started and Sale scored, I went, oh, come on, Bristol. I went, you've bet on Bristol, haven't you? And he went, well, yes, but that doesn't make any difference. And then as Bristol went further down the pan, and he's going, I don't understand what's happening. And my son and daughter-in-law were all going, we do. You bet on Bristol.
Oh, bless. It's harsh. It's very harsh.
It is harsh, but funny.
The IT department, really, you need to up your game.
No, don't. Please don't. Not until after we've been to Cheltenham, so I know which horses not to pick.
Well, I think not. Might be one way of upping his game.
Yeah, well, that would be a start. He does occasionally win, though. So he will do sort of bizarre things. So he will do things like bet a couple of quid on a draw. And he didn't tell me, but when we were at the Lions in New Zealand in 2017, he'd bet on the draw for the last test. He didn't tell me because I'd have been, absolutely shredded to ribbons and with my nerves. But no, he. So not only was it quite a weird ending, and then he went, "Well, I've just won quite a lot of money because I'd bet on the draw and the odds were ridiculous." Somebody behind us had done the same. So there we go.
Wow. Well,
so it does pay off occasionally.
Very occasionally.
Usually doesn't. Yeah.
Well, there
usually
you go.
Doesn't. Yeah. So yes, Harry came to the game. Harry, my Harry, came to the game and loved it in many ways. But was also, bless him, didn't expect the pod fame. Harry from the pod.
Harry from the pod was recognised by a lot of people yesterday.
Yes. And it all got a bit. All these big people keep talking to me. I don't really know what's happening. I'll just stick next to my granny. She seems to know them all. And decided
constantly calling him Henry. What was that about?
No, that didn't help. No, I have no idea what that was about.
Sorry about that, Harry. Really sorry. Yes.
So he did decide because Courtney had been their favourite player, and then they didn't know who to have. They thought about having James Ram as their favourite player because they had their photograph taken with him and he's a nice bloke, and he still is up there. But then I said to Harry, I think Mitch, you want to watch a good player, but Mitch. So he decided Mitch. Yeah, he liked the way Mitch played. Mitch was his favourite player, and at the end of the game, Mitch, bless him, we managed to get a photograph that Mitch took of Harry and Mitch together. So
here they are. Don't they look lovely?
Yeah, Harry looks very happy with himself. So
unfortunately, the photo is taken by Mitch, so it's worked very well.
Yeah, not by me, so it works probably better.
Yes, well done, Harry, for surviving the fame and get your photograph taken by one of the best players on the pitch yesterday in Alex Mitchell.
But let's face it, one of the best scrum halves in the world. Let's make no bones. And in Pikelet news, Curtis got his Pikelets, so it was good.
So powered by Pikelets is definitely having an effect.
You think the promise of Pikelets was enough to not?
I think yesterday that you saw the difference. The delivery.
No, I think it was the new hooker coming in and playing a blinder myself fired him up more than the Pikelets.
Let's play the role. And Harry. I'm now calling Henry Harry. Oh. I'll have somebody
beginning with H.
Free Diet Coke, everybody. So that's
That's probably it. Yeah. What's the point of caffeine-free Diet Coke?
No, you start. It's Coke with the Coke taken out, as Dr. Jones calls it. Yes.
Coloured fizzy water, then.
Basically, yes.
With artificial sweetener. Ugh.
Correct. Yes. Ugh. There you
go. Right. Each to their own.
Yeah,
as they say. So, but yes. So no, I like to think the Pikelets have an effect. The promise of Pikelets raised his game, but who knows?
Who knows?
Still,
I've got to thank you to the team who bought me a lovely box of chocolates for Christmas and my birthday. Which is coming up soon. Yes. So Dr.
Soon, yes.
Liz did correctly predict that Dr. T and I would share the chocolates. Yes, Dr. T was very happy to assist me in the eating of the chocolates. There are some left, not many, but they were delicious. Yes, so thank you, guys.
Well, he's trying to save you from diabetes. That's
right. He's only doing it for my good. I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So next week, we're back to the gardens.
Back to the gardens again, thank goodness. That's nice. And
it's a double header.
It is. Hopefully the weather will be kind so we can stay for both without risking hypothermia.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that would be good. So we play Bath at 3:00. The Saints play Bath at 3:00, and then Loughborough Lightning play Saracens at 5:30. So it's a big, and they're both games on Sunday.
Yes. We will not be podding till Monday.
Till Monday tea time, yes, because it's back to work for me. And so yes, it's going to be a full-on day, and the big lens might have to come out. Don't know. I haven't worked that one out yet. I may not. It depends on the weather. And then we're off to Paris.
So exciting. The Paris trip is it's shaping up to be monumental.
It certainly is.
I was going to say, only because of the people who are going, who keep saying, we're going, where are you staying, where are we all meeting, what are we doing? I think it's so hotel Radisson Blu is the party hotel, because that's where we are.
Apparently it's Party Central, yes.
Party Central. So if you
know what city, it's what's going to hit it. And
so if you're going to Paris, so the supporters club have put up a bar where we're hoping to meet before the game. I can't remember what it's called. Something or another. Stad.
We ought to find out for next week's pod. Yes. Yeah,
we'll find out for next week's pod. But failing that, in between times, drop by the Radisson Blu and see who's there. There could be us. There could be other people. There could just be us in the bar. If it's anything like the hotel in Dublin, we didn't move from the bar after the game. Other people came and went. Somebody tried to pick a fight with the Viking at one point, but
it's. Yes.
I'm not saying excessive drink was taken, but somebody ordered a rum and coke, and when it came, he said, "This isn't rum and coke. I don't know what it is." Passed it all round the table, and we were going, "No, that's not rum and coke. That's fake. No, that's wrong." And when it got back to him, we went, "Oh, no, it isn't rum and coke. It's just neat rum. I've not put the coke in." Naming no names, no pack drill, but his son no longer plays for us. There's a clue.
Yes. So So Dr. Jones, I am determined that I'm going to go to Versailles, because that's not.
Yes.
Therein lies the tale. Dr. Jones going, but it's miles to Versailles, and I'm thinking, is it? No, we must be on the right side of the city. So when we looked on the map on Friday, it's a 20-minute drive.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going, because we've got the car with us. We're going to head over to Versailles, because I've seen it in the distance, because I did a piece of work when I worked for Ford, a customer clinic, which was in a marquee in one of the gardens, but I've never actually been in the palace. So
I don't think you'll be disappointed. Les Halles de Glace is impressive. I went to Versailles when I was living and working in Paris when I was 21, so only a handful of decades ago.
Yeah, weeks ago. Yeah.
And it was the summer, so the gardens were absolutely fantastic. And you're not going to get much from the gardens in January, to be fair. Yeah. But I mean, it's ridiculous. The inside, when you go to Versailles, the whole thing, I mean, Le Petit Trianon, where Marie Antoinette and her mates used to go and play at being farmers, and then the insides, and you're going, oh, well, I could kind of see why they had a revolution, to be honest. There's people starving, and you've had a fake farm built to play in. It's, it's...
it wasn't subtle. That rain was not subtle.
No, not subtle. No. It's not quiet old money there at all. It's all very, very in your face. Very in your face. But it's good. And of course, then with Versailles, with the Treaty of Versailles post First World War, you have a whole
absolutely
layer.
Yes. And I will be digging out my copy of Margaret Macmillan's, Professor Macmillan's, Dan Snow's auntie. For those of I think it's called Peacemakers. So I shall have a quick. You can't. No, actually, you can't. It's a massive, great tome, but I shall have a quick shifty on that one.
Yeah,
the idea of sitting, and there's about 100 people in the room in the middle of summer, and of course, there's no air conditioning, and apparently that, and it went on for days and weeks as they argued over tiny bits of land all over the world. Yeah. So yes, I'm really interested to see
but
that.
it's impressive. So that's it. So Bath next week at home, the usual shenanigans. Come and find us and say hello. I will be haloing. I'll be in the village haloing. I'm on doing the supporters club barrel at the same time as haloing. So come and say hello. It's your last chance. Those of you who haven't joined the supporters club, so I'm just checking the date, join between now and New Year's Eve, and you get the chance to win a couple of places in the Captain's Bar hospitality thing for the Bristol game, I think it is. So
Right.
you will go into that draw if you join up before the 31st. So for 10 or 8 quid, depending on your age, you could win that. That doesn't include tickets to the game, just to make that clear. It's just the hospitality package.
Yeah.
What else? Yes, so that's it. Come and say hello. Come and speak to me. Come and tell us how much you enjoy the pod. If you do, if you don't, just don't bother listening, really. But if you've got any ideas for any snippets that don't involve players' parents, that'd be interesting. So every snippet, every feature we've thought of has involved a parent of a player so far.
Well, yes. If you've got ideas of what you'd like us to include and talk about, absolutely.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about walking rugby because it obviously hasn't been happening because of the Christmas holidays. Likewise, Harry informed me that Toaster haven't, been stood down for the school holidays.
Yeah,
they've been having too much fun
next week.
Yeah, so they're back soon. Yeah. So our regular features aren't happening at the moment simply because it is that time of year where we're off celebrating Twixmas. But we will be having everybody back on. We've got ideas already for people to come on the pod because, as you know, we like to talk to people that we wouldn't otherwise talk to. So we've got one person in mind that I'm going to talk to next week. Hopefully we'll get them on. And they are fascinating. They've had the most amazing career, not just in rugby, and a good friend of the Gardens, when hopefully we can get them on. Yes, all in all, I think it's been a good weekend. It was a weekend that the team showed us that they can do it. They just need to.
That they can do it. That they listen and they can readjust and make it good again, which is fantastic. And let's go again next week.
Let's go again next week against the Fancy Dans from the West Country.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Super smashing great. But the money they've spent at Bath, they should be riding at the top. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And that interestingly was Steve Dimes' comment. Yeah. She's lost her ear now. Talking of your ears, you've got rather nice earrings, haven't you?
Oh, I have. Yes, I have. I don't know if you can see them.
No, if you were fine as they were. That's it. And notice they are in the
new shape. The new shape of the new badge.
To buy your own IT department.
The IT department fashioned them out of an earring. So, as he told us,
they look great. They look really good. Well done, the IT department.
Yes, thank you. They're a little Christmas present from my lovely IT department.
Yes.
Who coincidentally is my husband. Always helpful.
Excellent. So that was Ladies
episode 54.
Episode 54. Have a lovely Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. It's Sunday. Well, it's Sunday when this is going out. Everybody's still eating chocolate and Baileys for breakfast, I know, but it'll soon be back to normal.
Soon be back to normal. Have a lovely New Year, and we'll see you on the other side. I don't think we can complain about what 2024 did for Saints supporters.
I don't think we can. I think we fittingly ended the year on a high, which has been a cracking year. Absolutely superb year, and enjoy New Year's Eve day, whatever. Anybody who's at a loose end on New Year's Day, by the way, who's in the South Northampton area, 12 o'clock at the Boat at Stoke Bruin, Rosencastle Morris and Queen's Oak Morris try and get over their hangovers by doing a bit of dancing. And then there's a bit of a music session and singing in the pub afterwards. Nice way to start the new year. So, yeah. So come and see us there if you're around. If not, Happy New Year. And I might go and just reflect on the season with my book that we got from
your Champions book. Yes.
Yeah, a nice little reflection this afternoon.
Yes,
there's nothing else to do.
Year. And here's to 2025, where we've got even more fun and frolics ahead of us. So, well done, everybody.
And whatever happens, we do it together.
We do it together, and we're having fun. That's the main thing. Yeah. Let's enjoy the sport. Yeah. So,
okie dokie.
Well done, Liz.
Farewell.
Episode 54.
54. Away and done.
Away and done. Bye.
Bye.